Not gonna lie, recently the 20-minute timer on Wi-Fi has become a little bit annoying. I know there's like some settings or something you can do to make the match time longer. I haven't found how to do those yet, but hopefully if I figure that out, then I won't have many battles coming or ending because of the timer. So yeah, ¿qué pasa YouTube? What's up everybody? How's it going? So some of you guys have already let me know before your thoughts on the 20-minute timer. Now, for those of you who may be doing battling as well, have you been breeding your own Pokemon? I know it's become infinitely easier recently to be able to breed and make your own Pokemon. Unfortunately though, I still haven't quite gone down that route just because I still have stuff going on in my real life. So yeah, let me know if you guys who have been breeding and stuff or shiny hunting, have you guys been enjoying the new mechanics and stuff? Let me know in the comment section below. So of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, hammer arm that thumbs up button down below. We are taking on champion Braden, I believe is how you pronounce his name. So going into this battle, a couple of threats that he did have. Jolteon could be a giant problem, mainly because I do not have a ground type, so that can safely Volt Switch for free, which of course he ends up leading off with it. Cinescorch, Gyarados, and Komodo all have terrifying aspects of being giant threats because they can set up and Dynamax, so I have to be very careful with those. And then Caparaja and Eldegoss I'm not too concerned about, but I end up leading off with my Scarfed Morpeko here. Even though I do reveal to him turn 1 that I'm Scarfed, I'm happy that I was able to get off that huge amount of damage on Jolteon, just because now if I'm able to get on my hazards, I'll be able to pressure the Jolteon, or he is definitely put in range of where Sucker Punch from my Grimmsnarl will be able to knock him out. So now it's a little bit more manageable, but it could still be a giant problem. As in comes the Gyarados, he knows that I'm locked into Stomping Tantrum at this point, which is why I hard switch directly into my Duraludon, because the nice thing about this is that if he doesn't have Earthquake, which typically they don't run Earthquake from what I've seen, then this is going to allow me to go ahead and potentially get on my Stealth Rocks, just wanting to see what his initial switch into my Duraludon is going to be, as it turns out to be this Eldegoss, which I did expect. This thing could be a little bit annoying because it does have Regenerator. They typically run Leech Seed, and it just can turn into a giant nuisance in general, especially because I don't have any fire moves on my team. Like, the hardest way I have to hit this Eldegoss is with my Guts Machamp, or if my Inteleon's Ice Beam is going to be able to do enough damage to him. So he does end up going for the Rapid Spin there. I believe I just stayed in to see what he wanted to do, and I'm going to try and get on my Stealth Rocks again in hopes that I can kind of bait him to go for the Rapid Spin as I hard switch into my Zatoot. I do have the Rocky Helmet on Zatoot, and typically Eldegoss don't run anything that allows them to touch flying type Pokemon, so my Zatoot should be more or less a pretty good counter to this Eldegoss here, as unfortunately he misses the Leech Seed. That miss doesn't really matter in the long run of the battle, as you guys will see here, but I do get on my rocks, and now I'm going to try to bring in my Zatoot. Now originally I did actually have Heat Wave on this Zatoot, but I last second changed it to Tailwind because I thought that Tailwind plus what's it called, GIGANTAMAX Machamp would be awesome to try out. And this is where I kind of wish I did have Heat Wave, but I guess it's kind of good that I don't, because I'm going to be able to go for the U-turn here, expecting him to switch out. And the fact that I'm able to U-turn out against his Caparaja means that I get to bring in my boy, my man's right here, Machamp. We are Guts. We got the Flame Orb. We are adamant, baby. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and G-Max here and go for the G-Max Chi Strike and absolutely murder something. There is nothing that Braden has here that is going to be able to safely switch in to our Machamp. And even if something does switch in the next turn, I'm still going to be able to pick up a KO, because whatever comes in is going to get absolutely blown back. Plus, the cool thing about G-Max Machamp's signature move is that it increases the critical hit ratio, which means I have a chance to crit whatever else comes in if he does want to switch in and out there. And the animation for that G-Max move is actually really awesome. I like that animation way better than the one that Charizard had. For those of you who saw my first Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle, then you know what I'm talking about. So in comes the Cinescorch. I figured that he himself is going to G-Max as well, which honestly is not that big of an issue, because so long as my Machamp can at least weaken this thing to the point where I can revenge kill it, then I'm perfectly fine with that. This is where I kind of wish I had a rock move, but realistically perfectly. I don't really need it in other scenarios besides this one, so I figured, hey, I might as well try to do as much damage as I can to this, see how much exactly I can do, as unfortunately it's not quite a 2-hit KO, so he is going to essentially be able to beat me before I beat him. But the nice thing about this is that I guarantee him in range of where I will be able to revenge kill him with something else. So in a sense, it is kind of like my Machamp was able to get 2 KOs, as where he was only able to get 1 on me, and that is a trade I am perfectly happy with, because I no longer have to worry about any type of hazards on my side of the field from the Caparaja, although I guess he could maybe have Stealth Rocks on Kamo, but I don't really see that too often, and I'm still worried it could be a setup variant. And then this also means that I'm able to get rid of not only another setup threat in the Centiskorch, but I now no longer have to worry about him Dynamaxing later in the battle, which is huge, because now we're back on an even playing field. So I bring in my Morpeko here, I will be able to pick him off with the Aura Wheel here. Unfortunately, I am locked into Aura Wheel, and because of my Hangry ability, I'm going to be switching it from an electric move to a dark type move, which is not really that good because this does unfortunately allow Kamo to come in. But the thing about this is that I still have a perfectly max HP Grimmsnarl in the back. I'm very, very bulky on the special side. As long as he doesn't have a poison jab, then we shouldn't be in too bad of a position here. So I'm pretty positive I can live any hit he wants to go for. So I'm just going to stay in here and go for the player off in hopes that I don't miss as he goes for the flash cannon. We eat the hit and we don't miss the player off. I think if I missed that player off, I honestly believe that he would have won the battle there, because there was nothing else on my team that would have been able to stop and revenge kill a fully Omni boosted Kamo at max HP. So thankfully Grimmsnarl is well trained, as down goes the Kamo, in comes the Gyarados. I don't want to let this thing just freely go for a Dragon Dance, which is why I kind of make a questionable play into my Morpeko here. Honestly, this was a really bad play, and now that I think about it, the more that I'm thinking about it, this was just a really bad play, because I have Duraludon in the back. If he was just going to go for Dragon Dance, I mean, at +1, he still doesn't beat me. And at full HP, there's absolutely no way he one-shots me. So, yeah, unfortunately, I just kind of lose my Morpeko there for essentially no reason outside of my own stupidity. So, yeah, a bit of a dumb play on my end there, as I'm going to go ahead and take this chance to get on my Stealth Rocks. Pretty positive he's going to be fearing me having the Thunderbolt. So I figured that he would switch out here, and I can at least force in the Eldegoss. This way I can maybe try to get off a little bit of damage with the Dragon Pulse or the Flash Cannon, or maybe I can try to switch directly into my Xatu to kind of make things a little bit faster, then force him out, or just start spamming Psychic and eventually Fishing for Spadef drops, which funnily enough I get with my fresh Flash Cannon here. I guess this does kind of matter a little bit, although I'm not entirely too sure, honestly, because again, this Eldegoss doesn't really do anything to my Xatu, and regardless, I'm going to bring in Xatu against this thing either way, and I'm still going to be able to spam Psychic. So yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe that Spadef drop really didn't matter the more I think about it. I don't know, you guys can let me know if you want to be that analytical about it. But yeah, he ends up hitting this Leech Seed, which honestly I'm surprised he went for the Leech Seed. I thought he would expect me to switch into Xatu there, which I was about to, but it's not that big of an issue. I don't really mind this a little bit of chip damage on my Duraludon. Plus, because he most likely does have the Regenerator ability, even if he's back up to max HP, it's not really that big of an issue for me, as I will be able to bring in my Xatu here. I think I just did, I don't know. But I'll be able to bring in Xatu here. And honestly, much like earlier, I could easily go for the U-turn. I thought about going for the Tailwind, but at this point, there's no real reason for me to Tailwind. So I figured that I can just be aggressive and go for Psychic. He's got Gyarados, he's got Jolteon, and he's got this Eldegoss left. So there's not really much that wants to safely switch into a Psychic. So even though that didn't do entirely too much damage to the Gyarados, that is still a pretty good little bit of chip to allow me to be able to revenge kill it a little bit easier with something else on my team here. So I switched directly into my Duraludon here, as he decides to be aggressive and ends up going for the Crunch, which does a pretty nice chunk of damage. And that's actually a little bit scary, because he still has the Jolteon in the back. I haven't been able to get up my Stealth Rocks, although I do still have Sucker Punch on my Grimmsnarl, so that can definitely come in very handy, because I'm pretty sure that he is guaranteed in range of where I'll be able to finish him off. So I'm not entirely too concerned about losing my Duraludon here, although it would be nice to keep around, because if I was at higher HP, I could guarantee a little bit hit from Jolteon and still try and pressure that Eldegoss, maybe fishing for some Spadef drops with the Flash Cannon. But as long as I have Xatude in the back, Eldegoss shouldn't be an issue. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to switch in to this Jolteon, so I'm hoping that maybe I can live a hit if he doesn't turn out to be Choice Specs, but I just die. And it was later confirmed that he definitely was Choice Specs. So yeah, and that thing is pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie, because at this point I need to hope that the Sucker Punch from my Grimmsnarl does end up finishing him off. So I bring in my Inteleon here. I'm Choice Specs. I'm just gonna try and get off as much damage as I possibly can on this Eldegoss to hopefully put him in range of where I can bring in either Xatude or bring in my Grimmsnarl to then revenge kill him and go from there. Unfortunately though, it looks like he's gaining back way more HP than I was expecting, and Ice Beam is not doing nearly as much as I had hoped it would. So unfortunately, he does end up knocking out my Inteleon here. As you can see, the battle is basically coming down to the timer, but at this point I had it set in my mind that I'm gonna bring in Grimmsnarl. I'm pretty sure he most likely does not have a lot of speed investment. I think this Grimmsnarl does have a bit of speed EV, so I should be able to outspeed him, knock him out with the combination of 2 Play Roughs, and then Sucker Punch should be able to finish off the Jolteon. But unfortunately, we don't get to that conclusion because the battle ends up ending here, and we do technically win, but I'm pretty sure I would have won that battle regardless, because he did later tell me his Jolteon was Specs. So Sucker Punch, I definitely think, would have been able to knock him out. If it didn't knock him out, depending on how things went, Thunderbolts might have been a damage roll on my Grimmsnarl, so it could have come down to that. But yeah, I think at that point we pretty much had the battle won, and this is why I mentioned, like, timer is so annoying. I've heard there's ways that you can make it longer, so it's not 20 minutes, so you can make it like 30 minutes or something like that. I don't know, I have to definitely look into that, because I don't want to consistently have battles just coming down to the end of the timer and me trying to theory him on at the end what could have happened there. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, hammer arm that thumbs up button down below. Let me know what you think about the breeding mechanics for Sword and Shield. Have you been enjoying it? Have you been having fun making your own mons, or just kind of passing the time to have your Pokedex filled out, I suppose? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you all tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Because my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.